Hello. I just switched from my iPods, which I was using with my phone, to listen to Morgan Brown and her live. So I had my phone with my AirPods so I could go around the house and do some cleaning and I cleaned my bathroom while I was talking to Morgan, while I was listening to Morgan. And put a couple messages in there. Had some cleaning to do, and yeah, hello, Lori. Oh, awesome, guys! It's so good to see you. Wow, I am so excited. I get to do this because I have the day off today. So, watching on silent, okay. I'll try to be quiet. Awesome, Evelyn. I'm so glad you could come. Thank you. Oh, hi, Marianne. Hello, Heather. Hello, Casey. I don't want to miss anyone. This is so funny because let's see, we got Heather, we got Casey, and Danny. Oh, I'm so honored. I am so honored to know you guys, and I'm so honored that you would come to my live. And yeah, Teacher Casey, isn't there a collaboration? Yes, there's a collaboration today at 2 Central. Cute rats. Yeah, I got these on Amazon, and I have my lanterns. They're a little high. I kind of need to move them down, but honestly, I have so much stuff on here. I'm like, I get a little cluttered. I get a little overdone with my stuff, but I like my flowers. I changed out my flowers for February. And yeah, so I'll be changing this out for Valentine's also. I do like the decorations. I ordered these on Amazon. I think I got a whole package for like $10, so it was really awesome. So I was really, excited to be able to do this because no one else was doing the Morgan Brown piggyback class. Sorry, I didn't make your live Saturday. Oh, that's okay, Kim. Yeah. So I did want to announce that we did have a winner for the map. The map was won by Amanda, and I was really excited to award it to her. She's kind of a newer friend, newer to YouTube and everything, and she had some tough times with her illness and everything. So it was really fun to be able to award it to her. And it was really fun to play the game. You guys did a great job playing the game. So thank you guys for all that you did come. Yeah, I don't know if I you called it a after party, Morgan. I called it a piggyback class. This is a piggyback class from Morgan Brown's live. Morgan, your live was awesome. Yeah, I really liked it, and I loved all of the information that you gave, and it was really informative, and I appreciate your style so much. Yeah, it's really good. Newborn phase is hard. I straight up cried yesterday. My pink eye is bad. Breastfeeding's not going well. Oh, Deborah threw a 40-minute tantrum, and yeah. Evelyn, I am so I get it. I mean, I have been there. I have totally been there. I just want you, part of my story is that I have been on my own for 25 years. And I did watch Danny's video about limiting your screen time and all of that. Um, when I first had kids, I obviously I went to college. I believe in school. I never wanted to homeschool. I was totally against homeschooling. Um, but through time, my life made changes, and the Lord gave us a whole bunch of kids, and I had to figure it out. And so we did go to homeschooling, and with homeschooling, we got rid of the TV for 15 years. We had no TV in the house for 15 years. So if somebody came to babysit, we had no TV. They had to find other things to do. So, yeah, so I did all of this. Like I had my all of my kids, I homeschooled, and it's hard. Like, it's hard. I had many days that I cried, honestly. My kids were not always obedient, and I always thought everybody else's kids were obedient. I always thought everybody else was doing better than I was. And yeah, and it's not true. It's hard. Being a mom is hard, and there are hard days. And when you go on to YouTube or something and you can see the best of someone's life, you don't see those hard days, the crying days. And they do fade over time. So my heart is with the young moms, and I know that I've had friends that have done a great job and they never see a bad day and everything's great for them, and I can't relate because I had a lot of hard days, and I was blessed in my life because my oldest daughter she was, well, wait a second. Thinking back, at 16, she was down the road, hated me, couldn't wait to get out of here. She just took off walking. And in my mind, I'm thinking, she's gone. She's gone. She's never going to come back. That was when she was 16, but then when she was 18, she decided it wasn't so bad at home, and she came, her heart was with me, and she worked with me a lot, and she was home until she got married, which was a blessing. So she did help me a lot, but we did have our bad days. Like, I had my bad days with her. She was a horrible toddler. Like, my first child, she didn't like to share. She was always arguing with me. That's why I never wanted to homeschool, because she wouldn't like work with me. We didn't have a really close relationship when it came to learning. And so I just didn't think we could do it. And actually, I did try it when she was in first grade, and I was pregnant with my fifth, and I was failing miserably. And I sent them to school. The school was a mile down the road. I said goodbye. So they went to the public school, but they didn't really like it. So that kind of worked out well for me, because then they didn't mind homeschooling. So, yeah. Yeah. So, my oldest was really tough and she was hard to handle, but I did have a Christian woman tell me. I brought her up to a school where I went to, Christian school, and the lady up there, who was like the mentor of all of us, and she saw how rambunctious my child was, and she looked at me and she said, she has a lot of energy, and she has a lot of, I don't remember the exact words she used, that was 30 years ago. But she gave me the encouragement. She said, if you can funnel that energy, she will do great things. And so I was like, really? Are you serious? I thought all was lost. She's a terrible child. And so that's what I kept in my mind, to funnel the energy. So we started her on violin lessons really young, because I had a friend who, her daughter was in 8th grade and she taught violin lessons. So for very cheap. Oh, bye, Janie. Thank you for stopping in. Um, so she was able to take violin lessons at a very young age for a really low price. And it was another homeschool family and stuff like that. So, and then we kept up with the violin, we kept up with music. And as she got older, she did accomplish the violin very well. And then she also took piano when she was in high school, and she loves everything. I have her 2 kids at my house right now. They're in the other room with my kids, and her oldest is a lot like she was. So, it's interesting being a parent, because you think they're going to just do everything that you tell them to do. And if I do it the right way, I'm home with my kids, I'm giving them my life. They're going to be great. And they are going to be great. It's going to be okay. But it is hard. It is hard. They have a mind of their own. And, sickness is difficult. Like, sickness wears you out. Taking care of a newborn baby is very difficult. and it can be very challenging, especially if you're having feeding issues. So yeah, let's all keep Evelyn in prayer. And my advice to Evelyn from the beginning was, don't feel discouraged. The first 6 weeks is survival mode. That's all it is, just take it 1 minute at a time and don't ever feel like you are failing. You are staying alive, you're keeping your kid alive, and that is amazing. And I will tell you right now, okay, because I am in this position. My oldest daughter has told me just keeping kids alive is amazing. Like, she has told me that, like, she gets it now. Like, when kids are little, they don't understand, "Why is mom tired? Why can't mom do more stuff?" And they keep pulling for more from us, but when they get older, they realize, "I wanted to do all this other stuff, but just my mother feeding me and wiping my bottom and cleaning up my garbage, all of that is a big enough experience." So, my advice to you and even VIP kid teachers, I there was a girl on the Christian Facebook group, and she mentioned that she might have to step down, and I didn't do anything, guys, for 25 years. The only thing I did was take care of my kids, make sure we had food, make sure we had clothing. We did go to church, and I kept up with church things, and of course, teaching my kids, and working with them. But when we homeschooled, we did school, but we also got out and we got fresh air. We took walks, and I made sure that they were healthy, and we didn't just stay in the home and stay alive forever, but eventually that goes along, Hello, Luann. And so, but when they're all little, don't feel like you have to do more. Just feel like you can make it, through the day. And the sun will come out tomorrow and things will be better. And it is winter. Winter can be a really hard time as well. When you're inside and it's cold, like right now, I wanted to go sledding with the kids, but now I'm not sure about the temperature. So if we can't go sledding, we'll stay in. We'll play games, play Uno, Trouble, and I'm going to return these other two kids after a little while. So, Marianne, your life is not your own when you have young children. That's right. And, it's hard because, like, my daughter did a lot of things. She was married. I think she was like 25 or so. So she went on missions trips. She did cake decorating. She did Bible school. She did all of these things, which are good to do. And I encouraged her to do them. But, you enjoy all that stuff. And then all of a sudden you're at home and you feel like it's a culture shock. That's what I call it. It's a culture shock because you enjoy being around people. And the same thing happened to me because I went to college and I went to work right after I was married. And then I had kids. And I'm like, when I have kids, I'm staying home. I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. I don't care how hard it is financially. I will just don't spend money. I will just make it worth it, be with my kids. I'll make any sacrifice. But then once you do it, it's a culture shock. And it's and that, but you guys have each other. Like, you have videos you can watch and other mothers that share their stories, which is awesome. And when I was my let's see, is my eighth child, I was able to get online and I was on a group for mothers with many children. And that was a lifesaver for me. We didn't have like internet like this, where you could, do YouTube and everything, but we had a Facebook group, not a Facebook group, but a internet group, and it was private. So nobody else could get into it. And we would talk about different things on that group. And now we have a Facebook group, which is kind of cool. So, but not everybody who was on it at the beginning is on it now, but a few of the people are. And the original plan was to have a quiver full group and to bring new mothers in and sort of be a support for new mothers. But then we realized that that didn't really work because bringing new people in for private conversations is kind of difficult, and so it didn't happen that way. But a lot of us are still on there. A lot of us have kids that are grown and married. A lot of us have grandkids now. So it's kind of cool to still meet up on Facebook. But it is a very private group, and some of them are on my Facebook like friends as well. And some of the friends that I met on that group I have met in real life as well. So it's been kind of cool. So I was on that group now. I was pregnant with my 8th, so it's been about 20 years. So that was really helpful to me because I had someone to talk to, and some of us did share phone numbers, so sometimes you could call somebody up and talk to them. So that was really cool because I really believe that staying home is important, and I believe it's the best way to raise a family. I believe it's God's design for the family, for the man to work and for the woman to stay home and take care of her kids and nurture them. But oh no, Dino sold out. um, but it's hard, and I think in the old days, like mothers were neighbors, and so you had someone to talk to. And I just think that sometimes, even though we're closer in proximity, we can be isolated as stay-at-home moms if we don't have other mothers to talk to. But I do have a lot of friends in my area through homeschooling. Once I moved to the house I'm in now, and we joined a homeschool group, I met other homeschool moms. But I have a lot of kids, so as the older ones got to be teenagers, I was running around more, so I didn't have as much time for like play groups and stuff. Like Evelyn, now you can drag all your kids to a play group. Well, when they do violin lessons or they have work commitments and things like that, your life is still not your own because you are a taxi and you are, doing this and that for them. So life is rough. Whichever way you go, it's rough. But I definitely feel better now. I can do more that I enjoy myself. And I am trying to do that because I know as my kids get older, I want to fill in the gaps. Like I don't want to be like crying when they're older and they're doing their own thing, because that's what they're supposed to do. They're not supposed to stay home and make sure I'm happy. They're supposed to grow up and have their own life. So I need to fill in the gaps for myself. So let's see. Many people can become vitamin D deficient in the winter. Yeah, take a supplement. That's true. I was taking vitamin D regularly and I haven't done it in a while. So yeah, everyone. Yeah, because I know Evelyn said they had snow and everything too. And that can be hard when you're in a place that's usually warm. You can't tolerate the coldness as well. Living in Germany, my vitamin D went really low. Yeah, up here in New Hampshire, everybody's vitamin D is low. So, wow. I haven't left the house with 4 kids yet because I can't reach the back row to buckle my kids in. Oh, yeah. So, and Casey, lack of sunshine happens to a lot of us. That's why that we're stationed there. Well, yesterday I went out and I was able to take a walk, and I did put a picture up on Facebook. And even though it was really cold, it's amazing how much getting out in the sunshine does help. So this is in my backyard. This is in my backyard. We had a big, huge uh, wooded area, and somebody bought it and put it in a neighborhood. So now we have a nice walking road. And this is the snow. We had some snow yesterday, and it started the night, let's see, Saturday night, it snowed, and it was really, really a lot of snow. And then it stopped by like, I don't know, 4 or 5 a.m. So by the time this is my granddaughter. By the time the sun came out, it was really beautiful because everything was white. And the trees, when the trees still have the white on it, it's really pretty. So this is a picture. This is at my church. The trees still had all the snow stuck to them. So that's really kind of cool. And this was our drive into church. So I live in a pretty rural area, and I'm pretty close to, you know, city, but it's not really a city. So yeah, take a walk with your family. Yeah, and I'm on a step bet challenge where I've joined, and I can do oh, my watch is on low battery. I don't know how to fix it. Okay. I had to put it on okay, that was yesterday. So, yeah, I had to put it on whatever it is so that the battery wouldn't get used up. So I'm on a step bet challenge. This was for VIP kid teachers, and you join it on step bet. And then you get, it makes a goal for you. So I have my Apple Watch. Oh, you got a rat dino? Oh my goodness, Amanda. Wow. Oh, Casey, you're out? Oh no, that's terrible. So sorry. Yeah, I left my watch at home one day. So then I was like, I hope they don't kick me out. So then I had to go for a walk because I wanted to get my steps up. But they have four active days and 2 power days. And then you get 1 day off. So if you only have 1 day off, you're okay. But if it's 2, then you're out. And by the end of the challenge, who out of there are 156 people playing this time for 1 month. So we have 2 more weeks, and there are 128 still in the game. So out of 156, there's 128 still in it. So I don't know if I'm going to make it, but it's kind of cool because it helps to keep. I've never kept track of my steps before like this. So it's kind of cool. You look and you say, oh no, my steps are down. And so you can just keep walking, and like I can walk behind my house, or I can walk at my school in the gym, and get a whole bunch of steps in that way. Yeah. So that's so awesome. Some of you got the rat dino. Lucky kids that get a teacher with a rat dino. So, but I think it's really funny that a lot of the students are saying that it's not a rat, it's the year of the mouse. Every student I've seen, it's the year of the mouse. I have had some really awesome mouse drawings. Okay, so what time is it? It is 9:01. Okay, so I'm going to put a timestamp on here because now I want to talk about my bookings. And this afternoon at 3:00, we're supposed to have a Zoom meeting with Casey, and we're going to be, yeah. So I don't really understand why we say rat if the whole Chinese world is saying mouse, but that's just me. I had a student say they didn't want hung bao. Really? Oh, that's weird. That is really weird. Why? What do you put in yours? Do you put in money, Danny? Because sometimes I put in like candy wrappers. This is my hung bao right here. This is my hung bao, and I have candy, and I'll say, do you like chocolate? Or I have a Valentine. You are possum. And I have money. I didn't really even use this today. I had my classes today. I wanted to talk about them because I had one regular today, but the rest were the specialty classes. So I had a sports class. I had a reading class about the flu germ. And I had a TOEFL primary class. These classes I had never taught before. I had 1 out of 4, I had 1 regular, and the 3 other students were, oh, that's so cute. Caleb is awake with me. He's so precious. He says hi. Good. Awesome. And so the 3 other students were new to me students, new to me classes. Yeah, I am trying to do oatmeal for breakfast too, Danny. So I've done it before and it doesn't really help me with my weight, but I'm gonna try it again. So anyway, there was one student I wanted to share with you that this the student details said that I had her before. And so my notes were great job. She was hesitant to speak, needs more free talk practice. Good lesson. Showed some photos of my hobbies. Okay. And then there were other teacher tips, which I don't see at this point. And the other teacher notes were like rolls her eyes, was disrespectful during class, things like that that I thought were really strange. And so when I turned on the class, I was a little bit hesitant. I'm like, what's going to happen? What am I going to have to do to change it? But everything was fine. Like all of my classes were amazing today. I did do the sports class. There's a lot of reading to it. And it talked about soccer, football, and I had Find a Star with animals in it playing different sports, and that was cute. But I found with the upper level specialty classes, there is a lot of reading. And so it's hard to really fit in any extra rewards. This last one was my student noticed that I was just going along in the class. And she just all of a sudden said, during the class, let's guess a letter. And she put in the chat box the spaces for a 5-letter word. So I made guesses and then I did the hangman on the back. And it was toward the end of class. So as you can see, I guessed all these letters first. And then I guessed the I. And then I guessed the D and the N. And then she told me it was my name. So she's the one who guessed or chose the word. So that was really cute. So I wanted to just talk about teacher to teacher feedback. And I just wanted to share that I have asked this question on the Facebook groups and people like really don't like this question because they don't want to be like, I guess, told what to do or whatever. So I just wanted to share that I will put in tips for the teacher, but I don't write a lot of detail. Like for this one, the student, I might say, she chose to do a hangman game or something like that. And that would be kind of a note for myself. So if I get that student again, I can remember that without having to look at my actual feedback. And so sometimes I will put the reward in the teacher to teacher just to remind myself. And sometimes I feel like people use Google Slides. So if they know that I use Google Slides, Find a Star with the sports dogs, that will give them a chance to maybe try something else or do something else. So, but I think if I did have a student that rolled their eyes, sometimes I have students that look off camera, maybe they're playing a video game or something like that. I might write, make sure you keep attention. He likes to look away, something like that. But I don't think I'd put anything like too negative because, it says it's not going to the parent, but you don't know if the parent would, know about it, like, or the parent could read it, maybe somebody could tell them somehow. So yeah, so I write the reward kind of for myself, not for the other person. because I figure if I get this person again, I want to be able to. Here is the link. Okay, thank you, Casey. I write as if I am writing to myself, really words to practice, and if I learned about a dog or a cat or travel. Oh, hello, Tim. Hello. It's good to see you. Yeah. So, yeah. So I just, teacher to teacher, I kind of use for myself. So if you ever read something and you see a reward in it, it's not just for you. It's not telling you what you have to do. Sometimes the teacher will put notes for themselves in the teacher to teacher feedback. I did cancel my Feedback Panda because I'm cheap. And I figured I don't do this full time, so I don't like have 10 or 12 classes every day. So I can do a few of my own notes for the class. Plus, there is a template on the end of the materials that you can use. Plus, I'm planning on going to the Google Slides Planner once I get back to that. I have used it before, but I did Feedback Panda and I wasn't using it. But my thing is, I don't want to put in a lot of extra time other than my teaching time. So I want to cut that down as much as possible. And Feedback Panda was helping with that this summer. And they do put a little note in there that they do save all of your notes and everything. So if I decide this summer I really do want Feedback Panda, I can go back to it and it will pull up everything that I did so far. So I'm just taking a break from it for now. Yeah, so Panda automatically charged me this month. I used to have to call and release funds. They must have gotten it together finally. Oh, that's good. I'm cheap, but I like Panda. Yeah, well, the thing is, like I said, I'm only doing a couple classes, and when I get to the school, I have my first hour is my planning period, so I can, if I don't have it done yet, I can go ahead and do it then. So I just figured I'm going to save my money. So I'm trying to save, I don't work full time. I don't work as much as I possibly can. I do have a life, so I want to save the money as I can. So, I at this time I want to share a completely off topic mom, or it could be a mom or just a human 2020 20th century home hack. Okay, this is something I learned this week, and I might make a video about it also. So this is we are now at 9:10. So I am putting 9:10 up here for the home hack. Enter. Oh, it made it 100%. Okay. Anyway, that will give me a hint. 9:10. So this is really funny. This is something I learned this week, and I thought, I am going to, oh my goodness, it doesn't want to let me do it. Okay, so now instead of pressing enter, I press the arrow. Okay. Thank you for watching, and I see I have 14 friends. I am so thankful for all of you guys. Thank you for coming to my live. Now, this is a home hack. And I don't know if Teacher Tim has this problem in Malaysia, maybe not. But I went to the store. This was months ago, okay? I bought this soap. I bought this soap and I could not figure out how to get this release. Like I turned this thing, I turned it this way, turned it the other way. I held this, I turned it this way. I just could not get it to release. Okay. So you see how much soap is gone, but this, goodbye, Kelly. So I took this off like this and I was using it either getting soap from this thing or I was pouring a little bit of soap out of it. And I used this much. And I said, this is really, I don't know what my kids are doing, but I was using it this way. Okay. So I go to the store, I buy a whole nother one, different brand, different style. Oh, good. This is for you then, Tim. So, and the same thing happened. I was like, seriously. I mean, I was ready to take this back, but I don't go to the store very often. So I was like, something is wrong. So I go to my husband. I'm like, can you get this top to release for me? It was stuck down. It wouldn't unlock. And my husband was doing the same thing. And he doesn't care. Like, who cares? He likes the bars of soap. So he's like, you're weird, I'm busy. No, he didn't really say that, but he couldn't figure it out either. So I'm like, why haven't I thought of this before? So I went to YouTube and I typed in, you know, help my soap dispenser top will not release. So I Googled it, guys. And so I'm in the bathroom. Okay, so this is what you do. So you screw the top off like this. Okay? You screw the top. Now, one of the videos said, this is going to make a mess, but I can wash my hands when I'm done. One of the videos said that you let this dry, but I'm too like impatient. So I went and got a paper towel, okay? And you hold this like this so that it will not move. And then you turn the top. Ta-da! 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 And it worked. And I did it on both. So I was like, I went in the bathroom and I think I came in my side room and everything and tried it on both of these and released them both. And I was just like, I did it! I did it! Oh my goodness, this is so great. And I was so excited. My husband's like, you're weird. So then I was like, I went on YouTube. And then I said, I told my husband, I'm like, do not feel bad because 512 million views on this video. So yeah. So if you want to lock it, you push it down and turn it once and you should be fine after that to unlock it and lock it. But the first time you want to take it all out and just hold that thing on the bottom and then screw the top. Because what happens is when you're turning this piece is turning also, and so it won't release until you hold it down. And then I went to church yesterday and there was this woman. She's a single woman, she's about my age, and she and her mom live together. And at church I noticed there was a new soap dispenser and she had bought it and everything, and I was like, oh, thank you. And then I told her about my life hack and I was like, and she's like, oh my goodness, that happens to me all the time. She's my age and she's single, so they probably don't use a ton of soap. But she said she actually brought her soap dispenser back to the drugstore. She went to CVS, brought it back, and told them that the top thing doesn't work. And of course, the people behind the counter probably have no idea, if it works or not. But her life hack was she saves the old one and just takes the new one and pours it into the old one so that she doesn't have to worry about unlocking the top. So we laughed so hard. It was so funny. So I hope all of you awesome YouTube friends of mine, you will never have that problem again because now the mystery is solved. So online teacher dude, aren't you glad you came to my live today? So now you know. You just get a paper towel or something to hold the bottom. I think I used even a washcloth, and just hold that piece and unscrew it and you are good to go. And the funniest thing is today I did a VIP kid class all about germs and how you're supposed to wash your hands. But I didn't even think to show her this trick. But it was just so funny. I went to the church yesterday and we were just laughing about it. And and this girl, she's an accountant and she's not majorly on the internet. So I was telling her, that is a life hack. You just buy the new one, pour it into the old one, and you never have to worry about the, the top having to release. So that is going to be my message from now on, to tell people and help them, any little bit of help is great. Yes. And that's the thing. You can save money by getting the larger gallon size thing. This one right here, I believe, was like 78 cents at Aldi's. So it wasn't expensive. And to me, I have kids and I want them to wash their hands. So any cute little dispenser is an encouragement to wash your hands. So yeah, that's a good way to do it too. And honestly, when my kids grew up, I didn't even have these. That was a luxury. But now I teach for VIP kids, so I can buy this soap now. I have more I have more money to buy luxuries like this. And even paper towels. I very rarely buy paper towels, but I also have a Norwex business on the side, which we are encouraging people to use less plastic, use less soap, less chemicals in the home, and that kind of thing. But there are some things like at church, you want to have a soap dispenser for your people that come there. And, germs are prevalent. So washing hands is very important. So my kids have a Halloween cat that I keep refilling. Oh, that's cute. So Danny and Heather, I sent you an email. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, so look for Casey's live today at 3 if, you know, for anyone who's going to be a part of that. So that was my life hack. When I wanted to do the piggyback of Morgan Brown's video, that was what I was thinking I wanted to share. And I was thinking I want to make a regular video about that also because I want 512,000 views too, or million. So yeah, so that was really fun. And oh, I wanted to share a VIP kid funny. Okay. So today I was going through the class. This little girl, she's so adorable. I never met her before. And so she was doing a TOEFL class and she was so cute. She was absolutely adorable. She was old enough to speak really well. She needed some help with corrections for, different pronunciations. The lesson, I can't even remember the vocabulary, but at the beginning, there was a question about the boys who broke the window. Mom was mad because the boys broke the window. And so I was going like this. And she wasn't looking at me. I'm like, "Are you looking at me?" I'm like, "What are my eyes doing?" And she's like, "Stern. Are you stern?" And then she said, "Do you have kids?" And I said, "Yes." And I showed them a picture of my boys and they have broken windows. Yeah, and windows are expensive. So she's like, "Stern. Are you stern with your kids?" And I said, "Oh yeah." She's like, "What do you do when you are stern with your kids?" So then I'll be like, "Don't break my windows." So she said her mother's not stern with her, so I was kind of surprised about that. But the funny is, as we're going along, one of the words was corridor. And it was a picture of, it looked like, a college or something with a really, you know, ornate type corridor. And the sentence was that the students go down the corridor to go to class. And the students with the corridor was pictured. So she very sweetly said, the students go down the corridor. And I was like, yeah, you want to make sure you put a D in there. I didn't want to laugh at her. Like, that's the thing with the older kids is that you don't want to laugh, because they don't understand what you're laughing about. And if I tried to explain to her what a coroner is, that would be hard to explain. And she was too young for that. So I'm like, I'm not going to waste time on that because we already went over time with that lesson. But inside, I was laughing and I thought, I'm going to share that with my friends because you guys would get it. So the word was corridor. And I'm thinking, that's a real weird word because I don't think I ever use that word. But, well, I think it's different if the kids laugh at the teacher than if the teacher laughs at the kids. Oh, that's great, teacher dude. Awesome. It's so good to have you. Thank you for stopping by. I am honored. I love your videos. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Your night, right? Isn't a coroner a person who works with dead bodies? Yeah, exactly. And I didn't want to say that to the student. Like, don't say coroner because you don't want to, you know, some students I might, but this student I was like, no, we're just going to keep moving because it was a long lesson and it was a TOEFL primary. And those are kind of hard because they're supposed to not necessarily read the whole paragraph and then they're supposed to answer the questions. Yeah. Thank you. I'm honored that you would come at late at night. And I do watch your videos, so whenever you put one out, I'm there. Yeah. Oh, corridors used in Harry Potter books. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I really need to listen to Harry Potter because I do not like Harry Potter personally, but I know a lot of the students do. One of the students gave me a word from the Harry Potter book. It was an animal. I think it was a rat. It was about an animal. And I said, why did you use that word? And he said it was in the Harry Potter book. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm just not, I'm just not a Harry Potter fan. Don't tell VIP kid. Hasn't really been too debilitating to my teaching career to not read Harry Potter. But when my kids were younger, I was very selective on what they would read. And my oldest boy, he's huge on the classics. But he was a naughty boy. Like he was a really naughty child. And he got into things that I never would have dreamed about him getting into. He did things the girls didn't like even think about. I had three girls and then the boy, and he was just so naughty. Well, one time he was given like $75 gift certificate to Barnes and Noble, and I was just like hesitant to go to Barnes and Noble because I figured he would pick all of the weird books, or modern books and things like that. So I finally got there and I didn't tell him because I didn't want him to think I didn't trust him or something. Just in my mind, I'm thinking, Barnes and Noble isn't really that safe to just go browsing for a rebellious boy. And so we went and he came out with just an armful of books and they were all the classics. He's like, do you see how cheap these books are? Like they were $1, $2, and he just filled his cart with all of these books. Tom Sawyer, just classics I haven't even read. And they were in these like generic bindings and they were the paperbacks, and he figured he hit a gold mine, and I was just like just so blessed. I was just so thankful. And he actually read them, and he is a proponent of good literature today. And he tells me that um, he doesn't really like Harry Potter, and he has his reasons. But like I said, I didn't have TV for many years, and they could only do what I let them do. And so then they grew up, made their own choices. So it's kind of cool when they kind of agree with me on certain things. But at my school, the literature teacher, she says that she doesn't really like the way it's written, not necessarily the content. For me, it was more the content. I enjoyed your son's funny YouTube videos. Oh, good. Yeah, that's my two boys that are in college right now. They're the ones who made those, and they are so awesome. I hope they make them again. I told them they should start making those again, and they think they're too grown up for it. Which is kind of funny, isn't it? Speaking to my fellow YouTube friends. So, if thank you, I got 10 thumbs up. Awesome. It must have been the soap hack that got that one. So, I will try to have another fun um, mom hack the next video that I do. But I have been going for 50 minutes and I need to get back to my family. So I will sign off and I hope you all have a great day. And thank you for watching. And I'll see some of you later today. Thank you so much. Oh, good, Kim. 59. Yes, Kim, I love your videos also. I love your style. You're doing a great job. Oh, wow, Evelyn. I read Harry Potter books from age 10 to 18. I mean, everybody was reading them. My kids would have if I didn't tell them they couldn't. And some of them grew up and they read them or they watched the movie or whatever, and that's their choice. I've never read the books. I don't really have time, but if I read them, I don't want to really read them in front of my kids, or I might do like an audio or something so I can do it on the side. Because I still have three boys at my house. So one time, sometimes what I'll do is on my way to school, I'll put on an audio book, and I put on a discussion on The Borrowers last week, and it was really awesome because she talked about the borrowers, and I got insight to the book which I read as a child. But she used some bad words on a YouTube video about a child's book. So I sent her a note and I said I loved her insight, but why did she have to use swear words? She used a few swear words throughout the YouTube video, and I was like, why? You're a teacher. You have better vocabulary than that. So it's unfortunate because I don't want kids to think that, those words are okay. So, but to some people, maybe they are. Okay. Well, thank you, Heather, for stopping by. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Marianne. Oh, good. Good, Kim. I'll look forward to seeing your video on Thursday. All right. Well, I will sign off. Goodbye, guys. Have a great day.